Okay. All right, most of you have gotten to share your thoughts. I'm going to pull up a fun slide. What did you guys think you would live in the polar regions? A hut? An igloo, maybe? Something that kind of looks like this? Maybe? Ah, so people wouldn't have trees to cut down and build a house with necessarily in the polar regions, but they do have ice, right? What do you guys think about us recreating an ice igloo? Who would be up for doing that?
Yes.
Okay, to explore the polar region a little bit better, we are going to take all the plastic bottles we created, and over the next little week, going into next week, right before the holidays, we are going to create our own igloo out of the resources we have, just like they would create an igloo out of ice, and just like Miss Goss created an igloo out of ice, right? And that'll be a fun way to look at the living space that they might have had, or how to use a resource to create a home in your area, all right? So, one last question. So we've talked about why the zones, knowing about the zones can help you if you're traveling there, or if you live there, or you're moving there, right? We've talked about how would it impact your life a little bit. Does anybody, after you filled out your little questionnaire, if you lived in the polar region, what would your life be like? How would it be different than it is here?
The resources we have here.
You wouldn't have the resources. Like what? Let's be specific.
A building like this.
A building like this, yeah?
We wouldn't really have friends.
Well, that is true. The populations are smaller up there, so you wouldn't see people or have as many friends probably. You could.
Often cold and inside a lot.
You'd be cold and you'd be inside a lot. Would you spend most of your days probably inside? Or what would you have to do to go outside?
Just warm.
Dress warm almost every time you go out, right? In the summertime, do we have to dress warm?
No.
No, we get to put the boots away. But if you're in the polar region, you would have to do that.
I would like to live
Would you? Now, last question. What about the animals? How do they adapt? Are there a lot of animals in the polar region?
No, they can't even really have a pet.
Well, maybe you can't have a pet, but what are the animals that are up there?
Penguins.
Well, are penguins at the South Pole, yeah?
Arctic foxes.
Arctic foxes.
Maybe a few orcas.
A few orcas, yeah. Some whales in the water. Can't think? That's okay.
No, I know. Puffins.
Puffins, yeah.
Polar bears.
Polar bears. So I love the polar bear and the Arctic fox. What do they have in common?
I remember what animal.
What is it?
Walrus.
Walrus, yeah. What do they have in common?
They're both white.
They're both white, so they blend in. And do you think they have heavy coats of fur?
Yeah. They have sharp teeth.
Sharp teeth to help protect themselves. And then they have the white fur. Yes, Deanna.
They're both mammals.
They're both mammals.
Wait, are we naming things or naming?
Well, we're talking about
Can I just name one?
yeah, you can name another one. A seal.
Oh yeah.
So do you guys know seal, walrus, all those animals you're talking about? They actually have a lot of blubber and fat to help keep them warm. Even the polar bears, underneath all that fur, they build up and get kind of chubby underneath to stay warm. Yes.
They both live in cold places.
Yep, they do. And would they survive in a desert?
No. I know what.
No, because it's a different climate zone. Yes. In the ocean? What do you think about
It
that?
has a long.
Oh, the narwhal. Narwhal. All right, I'm going to get to you in just a second. So I want you guys, so your next steps now, you're going to keep filling in your climate worksheet. I want you to go to that first page that had the full map, and with your table mates, fill that in. And then your bonus work, if you finish filling in that front map, then you could go ahead and move to another zone and read about it and fill in the questions, okay? So I'll leave that up for you guys.
At the very end of the day, I'll show them that by pictures.
Oh, yes. Well, maybe in just a minute we can pull those up too.
Wait,